questions are any of these apartments going to be subsidized housing?
By the federal government or
Section 8, low income, income based?
It's not anticipated. You know, sometimes I don't know if we may ask for low interest loans from Henderson County or other state agency, but it's not going to be subsidized housing. Would be what I'm anticipating.
So low income, income based?
No. Unless directed as a condition.
Okay. And just for clarity, from what I understand, this meeting today is to get the agricultural property or whatever it's labeled right now changed to residential, right?
Actually, this meeting is just to listen to you, everybody, and get feedback. So this is step one. Like Autumn said early on, is I'm interested to see what the community says and thoughts on what we propose. I'm sure everybody doesn't agree with it. I'm sure some are okay with it.
Well, you'll have to spare with some of us, because a chunk of us have been inside Riverstone for 10 years, 8 years, 7 years. You know, we've been there for a long time and dealt with the builder being in there early on and plans consistently changing throughout. So that leads me to my next question is, initially Riverstone was going to have less homes than what it has, and about halfway through the project, they submitted plans to get more homes in there than what they initially proposed for. So what's to keep that from changing in this scenario here?
Nothing keeps it from changing. However, when we plan a community and working with Autumn, you know, the ordinances have changed since Riverstone. We're a lot different, and the process is a lot different now. So we don't, you know, it takes us a lot of effort to actually get to the point of the commissioners to make a decision. We don't take that lightly. Our clients are spending a lot of money to get to that point just to have the viability for for people to take a vote on it. So what we plan is, we feel like we're being probably the most aggressive right now. For the same scenario is, we don't want to have to come back. And so, is it possible? Yeah, everything's possible. I mean, Broadmoor could, we could go across the river to Broadmoor. I just don't fathom it. But if we stay with our our proposed project right now, this is as most units we plan to ask for, and more than likely we'd be going down in total number of units. But we want to plan all our other improvements to handle what's proposed.
I think what I'm really leaning towards with that too is to make sure that the apartment number isn't going to increase or double or triple.
So,
I can answer that.
yeah.
So with the conditional rezoning, what is on that site plan is all they can build. They can build less than that, they can't build more, they can't significantly change how the roads are laid out or anything. And if they do, it has to go back to the Board of Commissioners, public hearing process all over again. So that's part of the advantage of a conditional rezoning, is the commissioners can set conditions as part of the approval outside of what our ordinance is based on concerns, and it ties them specifically to that, so there's no surprises of what can be built. Okay, who else had a question?
You indicated earlier that there was not much to the west. Hollybrook Farms, Regal Knolls, Glen Marlowe Elementary School.
When I was mentioning that, was talking about adjacent uses that may impact how we propose something on our property. I understand there's development to the west, but it's 300-400 linear feet before you even get to a structure. Now I'm thinking about what people see from adjacent properties across.
Right, but we're affected.
Now, I didn't say you weren't affected. I was just describing what's.
Speeds on Butler Bridge right now go from 35 to 55, and back down to 35. People don't even maintain 35 during the 35. There's many accidents on the curve after Glen Marlowe, heading down towards Hendersonville Road. Again, how is this going to be addressed?
So we're engineers. We design roads. What we can't do is change speed limits. I hear this all the time at other communities we design and develop. Call DOT, have them request them to do a speed study. They can either lower speeds or talk to the police about policing it. So we have no control over speeding. So that'd be my, I know it's probably not the answer you're looking for, but that, you know, that's not part of our purview.
During construction and during final phases, power lines, sewer lines, you're gonna have an increase in drain on power lines and sewer lines. Are our taxes gonna be increased? Who's paying for that?
So, you know.
Are gonna be affected during construction as well as after construction?
So we go through the allocation process. We can be served by public utilities, water and sewer. We pay development fees. We make connections just like you. However, I'd look at utilities as the more customers you have, the more, just like tax base, the more bills they are collecting, and that would actually be more likely to reduce rates than it would increase them.
Not just rates, usage. Are you gonna turn off water during construction? Am I gonna be affected?
Oh, I'm not sure. So we have to connect and extend water lines and sewer lines. Always could be some short-term durations. All that would be designed and worked through the public utility.
That doesn't give me a warm, fuzzy feeling. You have to shut off the water during construction.
So, yeah, I guess until I design it, I don't know whether I wouldn't anticipate in shutting off water to a large scale any community, but we do at some time have to tap a water line and connect to it and then turn it back on.
You said the property's gonna be anywhere between $200,000 to $400,000.
Why don't you do it? I got another question.
I'm not exactly sure where you live or.
Houseland Farms. That would send our property values down. Is this going to be an HOA? Are you going to have HOA fees?
There will be a HOA.
And what is the
I
cost
think
of this?
there will be a HOA. Yes.
What is the cost of this?
Until we plan the community, it's hard to arise at this point. It's really early for that.
You're indicating that this is going to be a self-contained community.
No, I was trying to describe, we try to provide amenities that keeps people, not having to drive. Obviously, people still have to go to jobs, go to eat, go to shop. We don't have commercial in here. So let me be clear about that. There's no commercial use inside this project.
People are going to leave. Again, it's just the volume of cars.
Yep. It's part of the traffic study.
Could you put up the slide that shows the different property types?
My clicker wasn't working.
It's about 3 or 4 slides back. Anyway, my question is, when you get to it, do you own the property north of where you're planning to build the homes? And if so, why aren't you including that in your development plans? In other words, why does it remain empty space?
Is this where you?
Yes, that one.
All right. North.
Between between there and the golf course.
Yeah. So those are what we identified as environmentally sensitive areas. That's floodplain. Streams, have to cross streams to get there, so we consider to keep development off that area.
And you therefore don't foresee developing an extension
right. Yes.
ever?
So if we get this plan approved, we can't develop that.
Okay.
So that's part of the conditional zoning process.
Could you use that property that you're saying is environmentally protected or whatever to make entrances that aren't directly on Butler Bridge? I mean, yes, you would have to cross streams, and yes, the roads would cost more, but would that be an option to give other ways in and out?
Not really. It is, Cane Creek has floodplain and floodway, so that's an area that floods, just like, it causes Butler Bridge to flood, so I wouldn't want to promote any traffic or improvements technically across that way.
You said you had 50 to 60 open acres. Were they included when you did your population density?
Yeah, density includes all acreage divided by the total number of units.
So you use that for the population density, but you're not going to build anything, so there won't be anybody there.
No, it'll be usable. I mean,
no, I'm talking about, you said 50 to 60 open acres.
Yeah, so that's, if you're looking, that's sort of these
50,
areas.
yeah, but yet you use that for your population density?
Yeah, that's right. The total project goes into density calculations.
You use the golf course too?
It's not our property. But like, we envision walking trails, dog park, you know, so that will be active recreation space. We just don't support building vertical construction on top of it.
Yeah, to prevent a taking of property, we have to allow them to account for all of their usable property. So even though it's in floodplain, you still technically can build in the floodplain. They are opting not to build in it. They're required to set aside 25% of their open space, and we require that to be primary conservation area, which is that floodplain area, because that's the area we want to protect. And if approved, they will not be allowed to decrease that open space.
Two questions, actually. If it's in a floodplain, will homeowners require flood insurance?
Yeah, so we're not developing homes in the floodplain. So our option is
But
not.
they are.
The whole area is floodplain.
I lived in a community in Virginia. We were a quarter mile in from the Potomac, 100-year flood. Had to have flood insurance.
So we're not within the 100-year flood. We're not within that zone.
Okay, and
Any vertical construction. So we're keeping all our vertical construction outside.
can I just ask? I guess we're all homeowners off Butler Bridge that are here in the audience today. Does anybody think this is a good idea? Okay, with that, what will it? You do think it's a good idea? Okay, what will it take you since you have 99% think it's not a good idea? What will it take for you to not do it?
So we're, you know, again, we're pursuing this with our clients because we think it's the highest and best use. You know, I would look at this. I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, but you know, I would imagine this property gets developed one way or the other, and I would ask that for the family's sake. You know, they've served this community for 40 plus years, and I would hate to take away somebody's you know, retirement exit just because we don't want nothing to happen there because it's been pasture forever. You know, it's developable property. It could be a large scale industry that came in here. It had
put some for people to work in. Why would you want that in your yard?
Yeah, so it's like I would envision industry being not fitting within that community, much more so than another community. That's just my opinion. You know, we develop communities. I do industrial sites. I do schools. We design all of them. You know, industries have its pros and cons. Jobs can be a pro. Con can be heavy highway traffic. And so there's a lot of different other variables that go with how this property is.